One of the great rabbis 1,200 years ago said, quote, "The redemption of the 10 tribes precedes the redemption of the rest of the Jewish people." And that's exactly what the book of Revelation teaches. These men are sealed, and later the entire nation of Israel is saved from destruction. So the rabbi was right when he said about this. Okay, they are discovering, and I wish I'd have brought my paper. If I'd have read the paper, it would take me 20 minutes to read this document that I just got hold of that goes into minute detail on this research. So I'm just going to give you the highlights of it. Everybody ready for this? You're not going to believe where they have discovered the majority of the lost tribes of Israel. Everybody ready? Clean your ears out. Afghanistan and Pakistan. Afghanistan and Pakistan. There is a tribe called the Pashtun tribe, numbering 20 million. They live from Kabul and all the way to the Indus River. There are 60 tribes and sub-tribes. There are 12 million living in Pakistan. And the name Pashtun comes from the Hebrew word pasht, which means scattered. The scattered people. Watch this. Some grow long hair on the sides, just like the Orthodox Jews. Some have garments with fringes on it, just like the Orthodox Jews. Some circumcise their boys on the 8th day. Muslims don't normally do that on the 8th day. Some marry under large canopies like Jews do. The Star of David is seen all over the country, carved on rocks that are hundreds of years of age. In the memoirs of Abraham Benjamin, a Jew living from Afghanistan, wrote that some Pashtuns believe, according to ancient tradition, they are the tribe of Ephraim. An Afghan Jew recalls a Pushtun telling him that once, watch this, they had once been Jews, and when the Messiah returns, they would become Jews again. Y'all ain't hearing me. In Afghan and Pakistan, I need to read this. This is a lot of information. The Afghan royal family. A book was written in 1635 that said that the Afghan royal family was from the tribe of Benjamin, or the southern kingdom of Israel. Their tradition says that King Saul had a son named Jeremiah, and his son was called Afghana. He was actually raised by David after Saul's death. Afghana, eventually after David's death, was raised in Solomon's court, and he moved into an area that would later be called Afghanistan. 400 years after Solomon, the family of Afghana fled to Gur in Afghanistan, and that tribe grew and grew and grew into a multitude, and they all converted to Islam in 622 AD. The leader's name was Kish, and it so happened Saul, that was his Hebrew name, Kish. Remember reading that in the Bible? They changed their name from Kish, sons of Kish, to Arab name Al-Rashad. The Jewish community lived there till 1992 in this area of Afghanistan among these people, and fled in 92, and cemeteries are there with both Hebrew and Persian writing that date back from the 7th to the 12th century AD. The various names of the tribe in Afghanistan and Pakistan appear to have a Hebraic link. For example, in the past, some have named their children Israel. Several of the tribal names have a similar Hebrew counterpart with the names of the tribes of Israel. There is a Rabbani, which is similar to the Hebrew counterpart Reuben. There is a Asheri. Now, these are tribes in Afghanistan and Pakistan, similar to the word Asher. There is Gadon, which is similar to the root Gad, the tribe of Gad. There is a tribal name called Masuasai, Musasai, which is Moses in their language, the tribe of Moses. There is the name Yusuf, and these are researchers talking about this, by the way. I'm not making this up. The name Yusuf is very common in Afghanistan and Pakistan. You have the name Yusuf Zai, Yusuf Zai, Yusuf Zad, and these mean, this translates as, ready, children of Joseph. And the children of Joseph are Ephraim and Manasseh. By the way, when I first came across this information, I have a friend now, his name is Tariq Faridi, and he's been to our office. In fact, we taped some programs with him on Manifest years ago, and I did about a 2-hour taping with him that was never released on Manifest. He really got into some stuff that was so heavy, I didn't feel like we could release it on Manifest. Probably have to do a DVD, pull that out of the archives one day and do a DVD and sell it just in the meetings like this. All right, now let me tell you about him. His father, he is from Pakistan. His father trains Muslims to evangelize in Pakistan. He is the only Christian in the family. In fact, because of his name and because everybody in his family is Muslim but him, when he would make contact after 9/11 on computers, the FBI would end up calling him. As a matter of fact, he stopped a terrorist attack with a group of sleeper cells that came in and wanted him to start a business. Let me tell you what the plan was. This never made news. There was going to be an evangelistic meeting in California in an open-air stadium after 9/11. And there was a group of men. If you'll remember, they grounded little planes. Do y'all remember them grounding the planes that spray? Remember that? California? They finally said, let's ground them. Well, you know, they had to do it for a reason. They don't tell you, because one of the things the federal government always will do, which is wise, is not tell people things that are in the making. It would scare you to death. You'd stay in your home and lock your doors, wouldn't go out anywhere if they told you everything that could happen. So what these guys were going to do in this evangelistic meeting, they already had the planes. They owned a company that sprayed, dust and crop dusters. And they were going to fill it up with fuel and fly over the stadium and spray the people and crash a plane into people that had fuel all over them. And there would have been thousands and thousands of people that would die. And he helped stop this attack. So, because what happened is the guys came to him and wanted him to start a business with them, and then they thought he was a Pakistani Muslim, but he was actually a Pakistani Christian, never told them, and he got the information and turned it over because of that. Anyway, he said, listen to my name, Faridi. He says, do you not hear anything in that? And I says, I don't know where you're coming from. He says, I know what tribe we're with. We're with the tribe of Ephraim. Ephraim. He said, Perry, what happened was that when the tribes were scattered, they went to Afghanistan and Pakistan. At least 8 of them, come on, talk to me somebody. At least 8 of them were discovered there by name, by traditions, by the things that they do, like we talked about a moment ago, the ceremonies. And I've only listed 6 of them. There's about 15 parallels that they do that's similar to Jews. But he said, we converted to Islam out of threat of death. If we did not convert to Islam, we would have been killed. He said, so a lot of them have been told, a lot of the tribes have been told that they are actually Jewish in their background, but they converted to Islam for protection and security so that they could raise their families and have jobs and not face death. Some of the belief is that when the Messiah returns, it will be revealed to them who they are with, exactly what tribe they're with, etc. Is everybody still here? Now, so they are known to exist there. Now, that's point 2. So you got a couple things going on. Number 1, you've got names that identify who they're with in the family. Number 2, remember I told you about that, Levi, etc., Levi, Kohen. Number 2, you have research being done proving that there are connections in Afghanistan and Pakistan with at least, from what the last count I got was 8 to 9 tribes have been identified in those 2 areas. Now stop before I get to number 3 and let me share something with you. Think about this. Where did bin Laden go? Tell me where he went. Afghanistan. Why? Why did he go there? Well, because there's radicals there. Sure, the Taliban was there, exactly. But you got to get the prophetic significance of what's going on here. He's going to go there to try to disrupt God. He doesn't know about this. I doubt that he even cares if these people think they're Jews or if they think what tribe they're with. But Satan knows. Satan knows where these people went after the Assyrian captivity. And so the enemy plants this guy right in the heart there to create conflict and war. You say, why is it important? You see, maybe I think different than everybody else. In fact, obviously I do, from what my wife said. She says, I can tell by the way you preach you think different than everybody else. But let me share this with you. According to the Bible, these tribes have to go back to Israel. But Israel can't let people go back who are from terrorist countries. Now, you're going to get this in a minute. You're going to go home and say, oh, I get it now. Bin Laden goes in there, works with the Taliban, sets up a terrorist against the United States, and now anybody from Pakistan or Afghanistan is looked at twice on a list. It's a fact. When they come out of a country to the United States, to Canada, or to Israel, Israel is very careful on who they let in their country from Afghanistan and Pakistan. Can you understand what I'm saying? Because of the terrorism, the headquarters of terrorism. So what does the enemy do? He raises up terrorism to block any of these people from being able to go back to the land. Hello? See, maybe that's just my imagination. Maybe that's just something I sat down and thought up with. But I see into the mind of the adversary sometimes of how he operates and works. Is everybody still here? In the area of Harot, for 1,000 to 2,000 years, Jews lived there in that region, but began leaving after the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in 1980. There's evidence of the ruins of old Jewish synagogues in the area of Harot. In Kandahar, how many know Kandahar's on the news all the time?